As we follow the pattern, we're going to go step by step for the shirt, just so you'll understand the pattern instructions also. Step number one is stay stitching your curved neck edges. That means the front piece, here's the curved neck edge, and a stay stitch is just what it says. Fabric stay right here. Whenever you cut a woven on a curve, it has the tendency to stretch, and there's the risk of stretching before you put the collar on, and you don't want that. So a stay stitch is a regular stitch, a regular 2.5 stitch, about a 1/4 inch away from the edge. So just stitch right here, and a 1/4 inch, just imagine the edge of your foot right here, the edge of the presser foot right here, and just stitch. No need to back stitch on either edge. Just do a regular stitch here on both neck edges. And here's the back yoke, and that's the neck edge there. Okay, just a regular stay stitch. So as we prepare for step one, which is pockets, we need to mark the pockets and make sure you've got clear marking on the front of the shirt, okay? So I'm going to mark with my Frixion pen. It's an erasable pen, but it does very well. So I am cutting the 44, okay? And I haven't removed my pattern piece yet. This is my wrong side of my fabric. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my pen and actually punch through the fabric and mark where my pocket's going to go, the top edge of my pocket. Okay, and see how it goes on there. And then this is my wrong side. Remember my chalk marks? This is my wrong side. So I'm just going to transfer this mark to the other side when I'm ready to place the pocket. So here's our pocket, and this is what the instructions are asking us to do. All right, so what I'm going to do, here's the fold line of the top edge of the pocket. I'm just going to make a mark. This is the wrong side of my pocket. I'm just going to make a mark, draw a line with my pen. I've already done it, you can see it, but I'm just showing. Okay, drawing a line across there. And then, all right, I'm going to turn down the top edge a 1/4 inch. Okay. Not a whole lot of movement when you're ironing, especially when you press in a small area. Just let it sit on there. Okay. This flannel doesn't like pressing. Okay. You got the top edge pressed down, and then fold it on that line. The line that you made, that's the fold line. Fold it there. And press again. Just have a straight line. Okay. And then you're going to stitch 1/4 inch here and 1/4 inch here. Do a stitch line here and a stitch line here, and then you're going to turn it to the other side. See my stitching? Like this. Just trying to make a nice corner, and you can get your point turner to stick in there. And then this is how you organically get your side seams that you're going to use to place on the shirt front. So it kind of made it for you. Okay, see, it's a straight edge. And then you'll turn down your sides and the bottom and the other side so that you can stitch it onto the shirt. Now the first thing you're going to do is stitch this down across. This is your pocket opening. You're going to stitch that down and then stitch the sides. Press the sides down And this is how you'll put it on the shirt front. I'm sure you say this is the easy part of making a shirt. It is. Our next step is to put the back tab on the middle of the back piece, and we're going to do the yokes. And I'm doing a contrast yoke for the inside. It's the outside. It's a two-piece yoke, meaning it's going to be sandwiched. The piece is going to be sandwiched in between the two yoke pieces. But first, we're going to put the back tab on there. So I got my tab made for the back. And just a note, remember, when you stitch this, you're going to interface one piece. You're stitching 3/8 seam allowance, not the 5/8 that you normally do on the whole shirt. So just remember that. And then take a point turner, and I kind of tried to match mine up like that. So I'm going to put it right there in the middle. There's double notches right here, and your circles indicate that's where the tab goes. And then to put the yoke on, after you're going to stay stitch this down. I'm just heading to the next step. Here's the right side of the yoke on the outside, and you're going to do right sides together, and then sandwiching. You can probably just pin this so that you can flip it over and make it easy. And then you're going to sandwich. Uh-oh. That's what happens when you're taping. Okay, let's turn it over. And then we're going to sandwich the contrast yoke right sides to the wrong side of the inside of the shirt. Okay, and then when you turn everything, after you stitch across 5/8 seam allowance, you're going to turn everything up and you'll have one piece yoke. This will be on the inside, and the same fabric will be on the outside. Okay, so I'm going to go stitch across here, and then we'll be done with the back. So now let's get ready to put the back and the front together. And what we're going to do now is the burrito method of putting on a yoke, a two-part yoke. You do this with yokes on dresses and shirts and any other garment as the two parts that you like to have be seamless, hidden seams on the inside. Okay, so let's take the front pieces, right sides together to the back of the shirt, the outside. Not dealing with the contrast right now. So take the shoulder seams and put them together. Just the outside yoke, not the inside yoke piece. Not yet. So we'll pin those together. I even did the burrito method on a bra once. Wherever you think you can hide those seams, do it. And it's pretty easy. I'll get out the frame here. I'm just pinning my shirt, shoulder seams together, matching the notches. Okay, so I've got the front pinned to the back. All right, the yoke on the inside is hanging down. So what we are going to do is take the whole shirt, and roll it up. Until you get to the inside yoke piece. Just roll the whole thing up. Okay, so now you've got the right side of the inside yoke, and you're gonna pull it up and pin it to the shoulder seams where you've already pinned the front to the back. So now you've got a sandwich. You've got the back, the front pieces, and the yoke. All right, let's do that again. All right, I pinned the fronts to the back, right sides together. Just the back yoke. not the inside yoke piece. And then I'm going to take the whole shirt and roll it up. Roll it up as small as you can, okay, until you've exposed the inside yoke piece. And then fold it up. Ignore the shirt. Ignore the rolled up shirt, okay? And then pin that inside yoke shoulder seam together. So now you've got a sandwiched shoulder seam with both yoke pieces and the front. And you're gonna stitch these together, 5/8 seam allowance. And when you get done, you're just gonna pull it all apart. Pull the shirt, the rolled up shirt through. And if this is your first time doing this, you'll be like, wow, this is cool. I remember my first time doing it, and it was like, that's a great technique. Doesn't it look like a burrito? Okay, let's go to the machine and stitch the shoulder seams together. See? And then we'll come back and take it apart. So after I stitch my shoulder seams together, I'm just gonna take this out. It's ugly, but it works. See? There you go. There's the fronts. There's the yoke pieces. And here's the back. See? Now you have no exposed seams. And your next step, you can top stitch, like press this all out, and you can top stitch. I've already top stitched my bottom here because I didn't want to top stitch on here, so I did this one already. But you can top stitch around, you can top stitch on the shoulders and the bottom. Isn't that pretty?